what's the deal? Miss your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag, you know what I mean? As of this recording, it is 2:13 p.m., but the upload time is actually 11 p.m. You know what I mean? October 1st, 2025. You know what I'm saying? And right now, I'm cooking my food for tomorrow. Usually I would cook my food for Tuesday. You know what I mean? But Mama Tag came in. Mama Tag stayed over. She stayed over last night because she had to take care of something. And shout out to Mama Tag. You know what I mean? She's in great fucking spirits. Like, that lady is something else, man. Also, I've been, while on Twitter, I've been seeing, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj going back and forth. Like, what the fuck? Like, you two broads need to calm the fuck down. Like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not a fan of Cardi B like that. I'm not. You know what I mean? Nicki Minaj, and like, her raps is okay. She still look good, though. I don't give a fuck with no one. I don't give a fuck. But that's a whole nother story for another day. So let me talk about one of AEW's best talents that they got in their roster, right? Someone by the name of Maxwell Jacob Freeman. Yeah, MJF. So they are doing MJF a massive disservice. They are doing him a huge disservice. Like, the last couple of weeks, like, they've been, AEW's been booking, MJF, into bullshit matches and everything else, right? And he's above, what you guys see him in right now. Like, he's better. He's better than what the fuck AEW presented him, right? And the thing with MJF, every time I see MJF, right, if you hear some frying in the background, that means I'm cooking. I'm cooking some ground beef. I'm doing some spaghetti. But actually, I'm doing ground beef for tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'm doing some ground beef for tomorrow. But going back to MJF, every time I see MJF, right, to me, he still has, some of the best character work that AEW has. You know what I mean? And yes, if you want to throw in Adam Hangman Page, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But anybody who has character work, MJF, Kenny Omega, Adam Page, and such, they're better suited in WWE. And MJF is a guy who basically, he's pretty much a WWE guy, right? That is basically, to me, buying his time. And when that contract is up, like, he's jumping. Now, he's jumping like Chris Cross. Jump, jump. Chris Cross to make a jump, jump. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, speaking of jumping, right? Off topic real quick. I don't remember, oh my goodness, I don't remember this song. When I was with my ex-girlfriend, I mean, like, she was best friends with this guy, right? I'm not going to mention his name. He's a good dude. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's still living in Clinton Hill and such. The motherfucker looked like Loon. Remember Loon? Remember the rapper Loon? So he kind of looked like Loon. And I remember my ex-girlfriend was saying how, there was a party, right? And they did some jumping shit, right? The jump, jump, jump. It was some shit. Now, because I think homeboy is Trinidadian. That's what it is. He's Trinidadian. So, I met him before. He's a good dude. But, going back to the story with MJ, like, I was just thinking about jumping, jump. But MJF, to me, he deserves better than what you see him in right now in AEW. And I think if it's not even a matter if but when MJF jumps, right? All these guys are going to jump. All these guys that I mentioned are going to jump eventually. Because the ship is sinking with AEW. And it seems like WWE and TKO specifically is just putting poundings on these motherfuckers. Boom, boom, boom. WWE would treat MJF like a fucking king. You know what I mean? Like, he's everything that WWE is looking for. He is basically everything that WWE glamorizes in a superstar. Right? And like I said, he fits. He checks all the boxes. He basically checks all the boxes that, would make him a real top star in WWE. Clearly. Would he be a world champion overnight? No, but he's world champion material. MJF is He's great with the mic. He can wrestle. You know what I mean? He is a bad guy that makes you feel. I have a topic that I'm going to do on Sunday about that, about how they're no longer bad guys that you see on TV, that you feel the fear and you feel the annoyance. You don't got that no more. You know what I mean? MJF is one of those guys that, he brings that annoyance right to your screen. You just want to fucking do something to him. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how good MJF is. MJF is that fucking good. I feel like AEW is they're just wasting his potential. I mean, I feel bad for MJF because I'm like, Tony Khan doesn't know how good he has it, right? MJF, like I said, is better than how he's being presented. He's better. Like I said, WWE will roll out the red carpet. Think about this for a minute, right? Think about how WWE positions AEW talent, right? Look how they position. I mean, shit, for crying out loud, fucking Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints is the NXT champion, right? Look how they position him. You know what I mean? Ethan Page, look how they position him, right? Look at Jay Cargill and Penta. You know what I mean? All these guys, right? Fucking Blake Monroe. Look how they position them, right? And you don't mean to tell me that. You mean to tell me that if WWE, if MJF is in WWE's hands, you don't think that they'll go above and beyond to make him a star? They would make that motherfucker into a massive superstar. That's how good MJF is. You know what I mean? MJF has everything that WWE wants in a professional wrestler. Everything. You know what I'm saying? From not only the annoyance, but the entrance and just everything else. You know what I mean? They will spice up MJF like there's no tomorrow. Like I say, he's tailor-made. He's tailor-made for WWE. He is. You know what I mean? There's no fucking way that AEW had a true generation. Like, MJF is a true generational talent. Because you hear a lot of people say, oh, I'm a generational talent. No. Not like MJF. Not like MJF. I'm sorry. Nothing like MJF. You know what I mean? Like, you don't think if that man got into a WWE ring, you don't think that, like, he would succeed? You are smoking some good fucking crack, boy. You are smoking some good shit. If you don't think that WWE will position MJF to a point where, where he is beyond successful. MJF is like that. Like I said, it's gonna happen. It's going to fucking happen. It's clearly gonna fucking happen. And in retrospect, I think he did the smart move for now. At that time to sign back with AEW, right? But this is a whole different AEW. This is a whole different WWE as well. This is not the same company that Vince runs anymore. This is a completely different vision. One that a lot of people will complain about online, but you don't really hear a lot of bullshit that goes on. There was a report that the morale in WWE is very mellow, and I bet it's mellow. You know what I mean? I bet the morale there is chill and everything else. It's just a bunch of internet propaganda and such, because people are mad that AEW is on a massive decline, a huge fucking decline, and WWE is up. You know what I mean? Like fucking French Montana and Fat Joe and Remy. I'm all the way up. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You got to think, man. MJF and WWE, like I said, that's a marriage. That's a marriage waiting to happen. A marriage. You know what I mean? I'm about to be out, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm just fucking happy that I'm able to make videos again, B. You know what I mean? I'm just real happy, man. Like, I'm very careful now with what I post and what I put. I'm going to chill with certain things. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to definitely holler at y'all mañana. So I'm going to check y'all. Peace!